Shalom, Yeshua. When it starts was by giving all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, that belongs to GMS, and honors to you brothers that are doing the work in truth, war, sincerity. I'd just like to do a quick one. Spirit had us where, a couple of brothers, myself, just hired a car out and, went traveling around the country. And on the way back, we left our where we was at quite late. And we basically saw just, on the motorway going back up to the north of England, you had a multitude of just lorries after lorries, HGVs, heavy good vehicles, etc., 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 etc. And just made me think, what the hell is going to happen when things go to shit, really, because it's, we're in the way the society's built up now. You've got a city and there's no food coming into that city. Apart from via, transport, heavy goods vehicles, lorries, this, that, and the other. So it's like I said. So this is, I just got some quick information. Basically, this guy, so over here in England, you got freedom of information requests where you can just ask, say, look, I want some information on this. So this person asked, could you please inform me how many HGVs over 7.5 tons and trailers over 3.5 tons are there currently in the UK now? I don't know if this is whether the ones that are registered from here or whether it includes the ones that come from continental Europe into here. And don't forget, this isn't including any, anything that comes via train or anything. So it's, so it says here there are 293,204 HGVs over 7.5 tons registered for use on the road in Great Britain as at the end of 2013. So this is a response in 8 April 2014. Right, so this is several years old now. So 3 years old. Actually 3 years old to the date. And he says, that's a spirit. It's a spirit. I didn't even know that, man. So 3 years ago to the date that this was responded. Basically saying a total of 214,000 trailers are over 3.5 tons. So you basically got thousands upon thousands of vehicles. So that equates to basically just over 500,000 vehicles. In incomplete data and old data like that. Basically that it's transporting goods from one place to another place. Food from that has been shipped in. To the local port, those are the main port things will be shipped into somewhere on the south coast or something, so like Dover. But obviously you've got other ports where things will be shipped into, whatever's most convenient. So literally, and I don't know if this includes the the ones that you can just put a shipping container onto. I don't know if it includes those in this data as well, but you can tell it's a lot. And just what happens when the system shuts down? What happens when this system doesn't work anymore? What happens when Russia says, you know what, fuck it, we're not going to provide you fuel, and then fuel prices go up, skyrocket, and then you can no longer afford to transport these goods from one end of the country to another. Now England, in comparison to the US or something, is tiny. Right, so imagine just how much bigger it is over there in the States. Right, so, I've got this one scripture, 2 Ezra 15:15, says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. I started the wrong place, but it doesn't matter. It says, draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. You see that happening right now. Scriptures, I believe 2 Ezra 13 talks about measuring the time diligently. When you should see this, then the other come into place. Then you know that the end is near. We see that. We see these prophecies. We can see that the end is near. And you see sedition among men. You see people invading one another. And let's look up this word sedition here. Saying. Conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or monarch. You see that. Right, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Right, and this is what's going to happen. You look at, say, London. You've got you've got the M25, which completely surrounds London, and you cannot go anywhere, and unless you if the M25 gets blocked, you can't leave London. Then you've got you've got 3 rings in London. You've got the inner ring, which is mainly just like Westminster and stuff. Then you've got the outer ring, so it's all this has been designed, right? So basically, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. So now you think about these HGVs, they can't transport the food into the city. So then what happens, right? I'll just load up. I mean, you already know where I'm going, man. Right, so Revelation 13 and 16, he says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Right, and this is because of this, you have all of these vehicles, all of this whole system, that's about the movement of goods from one end to another end, because nothing really gets grown in the city. Nobody in the city really knows how to grow anything. Right, everyone in the city, well, really anyone in the cities doesn't really, in the Western world especially, doesn't know how to live out of the bounds of the government. Right, for instance, you see people from like your continental, like say Eastern Europe or like the Mediterranean, they know, or the Caribbean islands also, they know what to do if you get ill, certain kind of illnesses, etc., etc., etc. Whereas people over here, they're solely dependent on the system, which is why when they crash this system, when you can't get food and medicine and water into cities, into places, you can't travel it. People are just going to be completely dependent on the government. They'll say, "Hey, give me that chip. Give me that chip. I want it, and I'm going to take it. I don't care what it's going to cost. Just give it to me." Right? Says, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Men are going to be very afraid. Right, it says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Right, like as the main point of this is, you've got all of these vehicles that won't be able to come in. People are gonna go hungry. Just like before, people are gonna become cannibals, because that's the stages. At first, people, they'll riot, try to get the food. And after a while, they'll start looking at their kids like, yo, you're looking tasty right now. And, people might think, oh, that's far-fetched, but it's happened before. And it can happen again. In fact, it's happened all throughout history, all throughout sieges. Right, you've got the story in 2 Kings, I believe, where basically it was saying, look, cut up and eat my child today and I'll eat your child tomorrow. Right, and you got when those Edomites landed over there in the Americas, Jamestown, a lot of cannibalism was going on. Right, if you look at cannibalism throughout history, you can see it's happened several times. Right, and for great tribulation, right, because when this happens and you got people fight, when these trucks ain't able to do what they're doing, when the whole infrastructure's fucked up, then it's gonna be a bad time for all. People who are sick are gonna die. Anyone in a hospital on life support, then it's peak for them. Hospitals are gonna be overwhelmed. There isn't gonna be enough medicine. Which really shouldn't be trusting these sort of medicine anyway. But like I said, I just wanted to touch on that. Something that struck me. Like I said, it was travels, saw truck after truck after truck, and I thought, damn, that's what happens when these roads are closed. What happens when there's no fuel. So with that, Lord, you've been edified. Say Shalom.